Right, good afternoon. This is Denise from LivingINBL, and I'm with the very lovely Julie Hilling. Right, well, we're here today just to ask 10 questions of our local parliamentary candidate, Bolton West. First one, it's quite easy really. Why are you standing for Parliament?
It's not so easy. It is an absolute honour and a privilege to represent your community. I mean, it just is just so amazing to be able to do it. But I wanted to change the world. So when I was a youth worker, I saw barriers, barriers for ordinary people. And really what I want to do is change the world to make it better just for ordinary people. I think it's absolutely wrong that people in our community will live years less than people that are coming from rich communities. It's wrong that our young people don't get the same opportunities that people from more affluent backgrounds. So it's really important, I think. So for me, it's all around equality, making sure that everybody can reach their full potential. So that's why I wanted to do it. And it is absolutely the best job in the world.
Oh, that's lovely. I thought I had the best job in the world. How long have you been a member of the Labour Party?
Oh goodness. So I joined the party way back, and then I moved house. It was sort of in the days when somebody used to come around and collect your sobs. So it might have been in the 1970s I joined, and then I moved, and then I joined again, and then I moved again. And then fortunately they brought out direct debit, so I've been a member continuously since sort of the, I don't know, 1990, early 1990s.
Ah, that's quite a while. Who's your favourite politician of all time? Living or dead? What would you say?
British politician. I mean, my favourite is Nelson Mandela. British politician. I don't know who would it be. And I loved Tony Benn. I thought. I mean, I know a lot of people found him difficult, but I just think that he was a man really true to his principles. I can't. Who else? And I loved Gordon. I think Gordon Brown was, again, I know that sometimes he could be very prickly, but a man of huge integrity. And now with Ed, I mean, Ed again is a man with huge integrity.
Can't wait to meet him. What would you say is your vision for Bolton West?
So I think it's a place where everybody can succeed, because Britain can't succeed unless every working person succeeds. We can't have success unless families are succeeding, unless young people are in employment, unless young people can go to university or get a good apprenticeship, where people who need it are looked after. So where sort of disabled people, there's that safety net, so disabled people are looked after, that everybody's got a decent place to live, that everybody can afford to feed their families, so that we don't have food banks, so that we don't have 0 hours contracts, we don't have all of those things that bring people down, but that everybody can aspire, and we have to, and so it's about, schools need to give inspiration to young people, and so young people have got those really good aspirations, and so it's a community, it's a constituency where people are doing well, not one where only some people do well. And that for me is the biggest challenge, to make sure that everybody can, and everybody's got to contribute as well. So I do think that there are some people who just sort of want to, not very many, but people who think that if they should take rather than give. So I want a place where everybody that can work does work, that we do look after our neighbour. This is all terribly evangelical stuff, isn't it? But it's about that community, so that we work together. And at the moment, think we've got enough of that. We've got really good communities in all of our towns. They're really good communities. But it's about everybody being able to reach their full potential.
Yeah.
And currently we don't have that. So when people are stuck on 0 hours contracts, how can they ever buy a car or buy a house or go on holiday or know that they've got enough food on the table at the end of the week? So we need that sort of stability. So we need good jobs, good training, good environmental circumstances.
To date, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
So I'm really, so part of the job that is sort of a really important one is helping people that have got difficulties. So I think we've had a really good success rate, whether that's bringing the Salvies back from India, or getting people their personal independence payment, or getting people's making sure that they've got good agreements with their partners to pay up, or whatever it is. So that sort of individual casework, I'm really proud of the amount of individual casework we've done. We've done over 10,500 pieces of casework. Now that's not all personal, some of that's sort of political, with people wanting me to take up campaigns or some other things, so I'm really proud of that bit. And then on a sort of political level, I'm really pleased with the work that we did on changing the law on dangerous dogs.
Yes.
And we've had some success. I don't know if it's worked through, it's not finished, I suppose. We've had some real success, but there's still more that needs to be done, so we need more rigorous enforcement, and we need to make sure that there's funding to pay for dog wardens and to pay for other people to make sure that people are living up to their principles on that. So that one's been really good, and I'm really pleased with the work around every school leaver being a lifesaver.
Yes.
So all of my schools, all of the secondary schools, are either teaching emergency life support skills or are going to teach emergency life support skills. We've got defibrillators all over the place, so I'm really pleased with that. And that the Labour Party, so this is a real achievement, just at the end of term, that the Labour Party has committed to put it into the national curriculum if we get re-elected. And so that's been a real sort of achievement of working through. And I've done lots of stuff around youth service and trying to get a stronger statutory base for the youth service, and that's still a work in progress because youth services have just been absolutely destroyed under this government. But I'm a bit like a child in a candy shop. Somebody comes to me with a new issue and then I want to go and campaign on it.
Yeah.
So I've campaigned on, I don't know, worked on just so many different fronts because you've got to.
Yeah, it's all part of the job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
My mother has been an enormous inspiration for me. My mum was still working when she was 86. She was still teaching 3 yoga classes a week and still doing a reflexology. And then she's had a stroke, unfortunately. But she wasn't political, but she's the person that gave me my social conscience. So when I was a kid, we'd be out doing collections for Oxfam, and she did Meals on Wheels, and she was Brown Owl and Guide Commissioner, and so in terms of sort of that real formation for me, that my mum was absolutely fundamental in there. Who else inspires me? Is that enough?
Of course. Of course. You can't get less than Mum.
No. She's been a wonderful woman. Absolutely wonderful woman.
If you were not in politics, what would be your ideal job?
This is my ideal job.
Yeah.
It's a job that I've worked on. So I was a youth worker. Loved being a youth worker. I'm not sure I want to go back to being a youth worker. Feeling a bit, I don't know if I've got any patience for it anymore. But I hit barriers. So got involved in the trade union. I was a lay member of my unit, but I was like president for 8 years and very involved in all of that. And then I worked for a couple of trade unions for the sort of 6 years before I was elected. Until then I'd been a youth worker. But it just feels like this has brought together everything. So sort of working with people, negotiation, representation, making speeches, all of that's come together in this utterly amazing job. And and goodness knows if I wasn't doing this job, I have no idea. I don't have a what next.
No.
I really don't have a what next. And it's something I've worked for, because I worked for 10 years to get selected and elected, and long before that I thought I'd love to do this, but didn't know how to go about becoming an MP.
Yeah.
So it has been, I worked really hard on getting myself ready to be an MP, because I think if you just think, oh, you can do it.
Yeah, you can.
You've got to learn the job
Yes.
in so many different ways, and so it has been sort of like the pinnacle of all of that work that I've done.
Yeah. Right, going on a different slide.
Yeah.
You can invite 3 people, either living or dead, to a dinner party. Who would it be?
You might guess Nelson Mandela, Tony Benn, and her name's gone out of my head. Lancashire, the MP for Jack Straw's seat, brought in the Equal Pay Act.
Oh.
No, she's the MP for Blackburn.
Barbara Castle.
I
don't remember.
That just went out of my head. Sorry about that. Oh, what do I invite to dinner? I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really interesting dinner party.
It certainly would. Especially with Barbara Castle, she could put people in the place, couldn't she? When you get time, how do you relax? That's I said that, when you get time.
Sounds really stupid, but I don't. I suppose what I do is, so when I get to, it really is about when I go to bed. So I'll play Spider on the laptop, or on the iPad, and try and catch up on telly. So I'll record things like Britain's Got Talent and The X Factor and those sorts of programmes that don't need a great deal of brain power. So that's not my relaxation. But it sounds really daft, but I work 10 to 12 hours every day. Some of that's spent in travelling, and then when I finish work on a Saturday, I'll drive down to my mum's, and then on a Sunday I'll look after my mum. And then Monday morning I'll drive to London, and then it all starts again.
It's all been circle.
So playing computer games and the solitaire sort of type.
Yeah.
Spider's my current addiction.
Right, final question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Hopefully, the MP for Bolton West fighting the next general election.
Good answer. Well, thank you very much for your time. That was marvellous, really enjoyed it. And it'll be in LivingINBL.
No, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Denise.